Welcome to Xinhua Live. I'm correspondent Chen Di. We are here in Fuzhou, East China's Jiangxi province, Tang Xianzu's hometown, for a month-long international theater festival. These students are rehearsing the Peony Pavilion, a masterpiece by Tang Xianzu, the Shakespeare of the East, written over 400 years ago. Today, we are witness a unique dialogue across time and space as Tang and Shakespeare meet on stage.
And here is a fallen willow trunk, which offers me help to take the safe hold. Oh, good willow trunk.
Check out these students from the University of Birmingham rehearsing an English adaptation of the Peony Pavilion.
Beware! A rotten hollow trunk it is! How?
What is your pleasure?
I learned from Prince Shang a moment ago that
So what's the Peony Pavilion about? It's written by Tang Xianzu during the Ming Dynasty. It's considered one of the greatest classics in Chinese opera. The story takes place in the southern Song Dynasty. The heroine, Du Lingyang, feels trapped and unhappy because of the strict social rules at the time. One day, while visiting a garden, she falls asleep and dreams of a scholar named Liu Mengmei. They fall deeply in love in her dream. But after she wakes up, she can't stop thinking about him, becomes seriously lovesick, and eventually dies from heartbreak. Before she passes away, she hides a self-portrait in the garden. 3 years later, Liu Mengmei finds the portrait and is completely captivated by her image. When he learns she has died, he goes to her grave and calls out to her. Miraculously, Du Lingyang comes back to life. After reuniting, they go through some twists and turns, but they finally get married. And even her father accepts their love. The Peony Pavilion challenges rigid traditions and celebrates true love and freedom. With its deep meaning and artistic beauty, it remains a treasured masterpiece of Chinese classical.
Master Chun has arrived.
Brilliant. I'm so glad to hear that.
Too close to my mouth.
It's too close to your mouth.
Okay, how about now?
There. And she went away homeward with one star away.
The incense stick is
Oh, Alice. Liberty, when you go off, take off the Dubao shirt. So that you're not coming into the garden as Dubao, please. So even when you say the Dubao line, I think
Just have it off.
next to the shirt. Yep.
Great.
Okay. Good. We'll take it from and she went her way homeward right before the incense stick. Ready? And she went away homeward with one star away.
The incense stick is burned out to ashes. It's floating smoke like silken threads in the air. Will we waste this spring as we did last year?
It will not be long, love, till our wedding day.
With full mind belly full of classic books, so I slept during the day, but still tired, I feel.
Let's chat with the cast. Hello.
Hi.
I see you play this. I think it's very interesting. Could you teach me?
Of course. I'll give you two of those.
How can I do it?
So the main thing is to think fluid.
Fluid.
Think like you are water
Oh,
in
like
the air. So
in
just start
water.
with one. Go ahead and pick one up and just hold it like that.
Hold this.
And which is your dominant hand, right or left?
Oh, okay.
So
Like this?
Yeah. So if you just swirl, we'll start with just do one hand. And then the idea is you keep it off the ground. Yeah. And then lift up. And then come down. There you go.
We saw you play a lot of characters in
Yes.
this play, yeah. So, many characters from Chinese traditional culture.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, is it hard for you to understand this?
Well, so part of what we were looking for, so with the cultural exchange, and we recognized that as the sister city to Fuzhou, that Stratford-upon-Avon is the sister city and they're connected. We really wanted to look at this play from a Western lens. How would a Western audience interact with this media? So part of that was that we wanted to look at that. Actors in the West very regularly get double cast, particularly in Shakespeare, which of course our connection to Tang. So in Shakespeare, regularly you have multiple characters played by the same actor. So we wanted to recreate that in our rendition, and that's why we have myself and Kirsty, who are both playing multiple characters, as sort of an ode to that tradition. And so, as per your question, as far as the ancient tradition, part of that was we wanted to separate it a little bit so that it was still that Western version. But we took a deep dive on TikTok in Chinese television for the representations. We've seen adaptations of Peony Pavilion, and we tried to utilize that and bring that in. Also, one of the things with Judge Hu was looking at the ancient opera, or the traditional opera, and trying to integrate the same large movements. While I do them a little bit faster, my intention is still to connect the physicality with the vocal tradition that I saw when I did my research. So yes, but it was really fun. It was a great opportunity.
Okay, everyone move their mic with us. We can leave costumes, etc., here. So,
when we were working on this piece, this wonderful translation by Professor Huang Bikang, who actually does the epilogue in the play as the poet translator, since this is originally an opera, a Kun opera, there are many places that felt they needed music, that this play, because it's about love and dreams, needs music. We thought we'd introduce some Western songs to help and give a little bit of that music. So we sing She Moved Through the Fair and Shularun, which is in Irish. Both of these are Irish songs. And then took an English melody and gave it Shakespeare lyrics. The Fear No More Than Night, that is Shakespeare lyrics. And then we took Professor Bikang's beautiful translation of the lyrics and used it for the Lakme duet, the one that's that one. So I'd be happy. So we chose them because there was something evocative. There was something in the music that when you hear, my love came to me and she moved through the fair. When you hear that, you know the lovers are meeting in a dream. And when you hear that shul shul shularun, you know that, oh no, the desire has become too much and she is starting to go mad with grief and falling into despair. In the West, and I imagine here too, we have a saying that when your emotion becomes so big, first, I suggest, you have to start speaking poetry. Then you start singing. Then you start dancing.
okay, everyone move their mic.
And here in Tang's hometown, something even bolder is happening. Young artists from China and the UK are co-creating Dream Under the Bath, which is mixed of Dreaming Under the Thousand Bath by Tang and A Midsummer Night's Dream by Shakespeare. Let's go see their rehearsal. It's a real backstage pass. In this rehearsal, students from both countries are working together on this play. Let's watch them in action.
The Queen has an unhealthy fondness to that foolish human. 女王似乎挺喜欢这个愚蠢的男人。Maybe she's thinking of replacing you.
Charlie! 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 Charles! Charlie! Shut! Shut! What a funny sounding word! Shut! 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 Shut!
Hi, director. Could you tell us about this play?
Yes, so the play is called Dreaming Under the Bough, and it's, I guess, a combination of Shakespeare's Midsummer Night's Dream and Tang Xianzu's Nankaji. We did a project called Midsummer Night's Dreaming Under the Southern Bow in 2016, which had a similar idea, but it was two separate plays, one done by Stage at Leeds, at the University of Leeds, where I work, and one done by my colleague Li Jun from the University of International Business and Economics in Beijing. We rehearsed this online with our colleagues in China, and it was really interesting because it's the first time we've done that. And when we came to the airport to meet the other group to come here by bus, it was so interesting to see both groups of young people know each other, where normally there's that moment when, like, oh, I don't know who you are, hi, we texted. It wasn't like that at all. It was a hey, as if it was old friends. And I think if you want the deeper meaning of the project, I think the deeper meaning of the project is we rehearsed together in a room in Leeds and a room in Beijing, and these people knew each other before they ever met, and that's absolutely obvious. They went out shopping last night as friends, and we only arrived yesterday. So that I think culturally for me is the most important bit. Human beings interacting, and the technology is allowing us to do that, which is absolutely wonderful. So yeah, and it's interesting, I think, with the traditional culture. When we came to do Tang Xianzu the last time, it was quite clear that probably more people knew Shakespeare, the younger people, than knew Tang Xianzu, and very many of them didn't care about either, which is not surprising. One shouldn't be sad or upset about that. Young people like new stuff, of course they do. But I hope that this kind of project says that's great, and new stuff is great, but you know, we stand on the shoulder of giants, as they say. We learn from those that came before, and I think China's a fantastic example of that. China's written history of its own history is incredible, so you can look back and go, we do that because we did this, we don't do that because we did this. So I'm hoping, yes, that the traditional culture and the opera, we're going to see some opera, I think, possibly in Beijing, and it will be surprising to them, but I hope, having worked with Tang Xianzu, that they'll understand where it's come from. So yeah, I think to understand the past, I think you've got to embrace the future.
About the story, because our play is about a story birthed from dreams. So it is a very vague and hard to understanding theme. So we experience a process to really get the meaning of the play. But I think an important point about this is that our rehearsing, because our cast between China and UK, the crew have just meet each other yesterday. So before that, we have been rehearsing all about online meetings. So the moment when we meet at the airport and then we combine our crew on the stage, it itself feels like a dream coming true. So it's a coincidence that our play's theme is also about dream and love. So dream and love is actually the central point of Shakespeare and Tang Xianzu, because I think that's because the two things are like the expression of human spirits, which can surpass time and space. These are two very powerful forces. And about the difference between British and Chinese theater, I think one of the things that strikes me most is that because when you say English lines in British theater, there are a lot of consonants, combination of consonants and vowels in your line. So that makes you more powerful and dramatic when you express that line in English on stage. So that's what I feel the most different thing between Chinese and British theater.
After today, I'm even more excited for the final performance, and stay tuned for this spectacular fusion of East and West, past and present.
Let's power.
Forgive me, sweet princess, but my own heart is overcome. I love you as if I have loved you my whole life.
Stand, please, I pray you. 我可不是那闲人了，平空。
I sweet? No dream, but only the purest truth. I love you as if I have loved you my whole life.
I pray thee, gentle mortal, sing again. Mine ear is much enamoured of thy notes. So is my eye enthralled by thy shade. And by thy fervent force doth move me to say, to swear, I love thee.
Autumn day under this majestic roof. How
And she stepped away from me, and then she did say,
In the ages to come, the happy dreamy love.
The show may be over, but the conversation continues. From Tang to Shakespeare, these young talents have built an invisible bridge between cultures, connecting past and future, east and west.